as we do it to our children. We a mom and we hella true to it. Creating our own lane is how we move through it. And just cause it's hard don't mean that we won't do it. Now this is motherhood, I'm welcoming you into it. Now this is motherhood, I'm welcoming you into it. And just cause it's hard don't mean that we won't do it. It's the M to the O to the M again. It's the month of moms anthem. Month of moms anthem. Month of moms. It's the M to the O to the M again. It's the month of moms anthem. It's the month of moms anthem. It's the month of moms anthem. Welcome to my iBloom TV. I'm your host, Majestic June. This is our co-host, Baby Love. This is Month of Moms series, episode 3. And today we got the Mossy Mob in the building. Let me hear y'all make some noise for the Mossy Mob. You feel me? We out here doing big things. You feel me? Mossy Mob. Why is y'all Mossy Mob? I mean, y'all the mob because y'all the mob, but what's the Mossy? What's that?
We're from the Moss family.
Okay.
And we actually have a city named after us in Louisiana.
Oh, for real?
It's called
Mossville, Louisiana.
Okay, let me know something. You heard that side? Okay.
So yeah, we rep Mossy.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
that's what we do. All right, for sure. These my people right here. Y'all talking about these my people. So if y'all could just start off by introducing yourself. TT, we can start with you. If you just introduce yourself.
I'm TT Kim. I have 3 children, 11, 8, and 2. And, Savannah calls me TT, but technically I'm her cousin.
But we Puerto Rican, so y'all know how that go. I feel like I have one more. Oh, what city are you from?
Oh, I'm from San Francisco, but I live in Hayward.
Yeah, okay. She owns property in Hayward,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I was born in San Francisco.
Yeah. We can go with you.
I am TTKK,
Okay.
but my name is Kamala, and I am Savannah's auntie, but as like Kim, she's really my baby cousin. I was born and raised in Daly City and lived in San Francisco for a period of time.
Okay. Yeah. And how many kids do you have?
I have one and done.
And how old is she?
She's 26. Okay. She just turned 26.
Keep it together for me, thank you. And then this lovely lady next to me that's matching Baby Love. Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Savannah's mother. My name is Diamond. I have 2 children, Savannah and Andre. Savannah's going to be 24. Andre's going to be 18.
I'm 24 basically. So.
Not just yet. I am from San Francisco, but technically let's just say the Bay Area because we've pretty much lived a little bit of everywhere.
I just want to go on record of saying that, like, we're recording this, like, I think today is the 8th, and I might release this after my birthday, so I might be 24. You feel me? I just want y'all to know, like,
so
don't be thinking I'm lying about my age.
That she's 24. I'll go on and give her that one.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mom. So, as an icebreaker, I'm just going to open it up and ask y'all, what is y'all favorite Black mom saying? Go ahead. You go first, Mom. You got a few.
Gosh, I have so many. Because I said so is always a good one. Mm-hmm. Fix your face before I fix it for you.
Yes.
Oh, stop crying before I give you a reason to really cry.
Yes.
That's always a good one.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It always worked.
Yes.
Because which
I
one?
think mine is... I forgot, actually.
Yeah, I forgot, too.
I kind of
took over. I gave a couple of the good ones.
No, I brought you into this world.
Yes.
That was
yours was, dang, that's like irritating because you always say it.
Oh, what was that?
Fix your face?
No.
Dang, man.
You just said it.
I'm not
just
gonna play.
Said it.
TT,
and
you
I
always
say it all the time to Ray and Lily.
I'm not moving
It has
forward.
to be provoked. It has to be provoked.
So let's be clear that this is what mommy brain.
Yes,
does.
this is
and
severe mommy
years
brain.
And years after the fact, no matter how old your children are.
Because in the moment, but then if I have to repeat that moment, there's no repeating it.
Yeah, it's okay. It'll come back. If it comes
back to me, I'll shout it out.
But that's how you know it's natural.
Right.
It just comes off the brain.
Yeah. Well, we're just gonna dive in. You feel me? Baby Love over here, he focused on the vegetables and the whoop wop. So, we're gonna let him do his thing, but he's still the co-host. So give my son his respect. You know what I'm saying? TT, we're gonna start with you, just since we ended with you. I want to ask you, you know, because I want to share a bit of like every narrative that these women have to offer, and I feel like they can relate to a little bit of everyone that's watching this. So I want to ask you what it's been like to be a stay-at-home mom, and talking about, you know, just how people kind of, I feel, not throw disrespect on it, but they feel like it's an easy thing to do. Like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just staying in place at home. And it's easy.
Well, I transitioned into staying home about 6 years ago. And it was after my second child was really sick. And we had some hospital issues, and she had some surgeries. And my anxiety would no longer let me go to work for the time that I was working. And so we had decided that it would be best. Plus, childcare and things like that, it just didn't work its way out. Like, you know, so we decided it was better for me to stay home with them. And I actually was supposed to be going back to work, but then I ended up having another child, a third child. So now it's extended a little bit longer. But yeah, staying at home, in the beginning, it's like you jump right in. You're really feeling it. You're like, this is what I want to do, because when you're a working mom, all you want to do is stay home. Like, you know, like that's like, I have so much stuff to do. If I could just stay home, I'd get it all done. Then you get home and you're staying home, right? And there's no way you can finish this list. This list is never ending. The list of motherhood that comes with the list that comes with
there is
mother.
No I get to clock out for lunch, I get to clock out, go home, like
no,
I'm here.
The list is never ending. So it's always something that has to be done. You're always feeling like sometimes you can be harder on yourself because you expected when I was at work, I expected to be able to have this house in shape, have these kids in order, have myself together better in check. But then you get in the motion of it, and you can sometimes get lost in, you know, your insecurities kind of like, am I not doing good enough? Or I could be doing better. And you're hard on yourself. But there's no one harder on you than yourself. Like, period. But
that's hard though, because you're waking up and going to bed in your workplace.
Yes. And you don't get a break. No break. There's no, even when you're trying to get a break, you still can't get a break. Right. Like, oh, I think I'm going to take a bath now. Right? And husband, you're home. Let me take a bath. Right?
I want to be around you.
There's no way that you can't, you know. Yes. There's always someone there that makes you feel like you could be doing better, like you compare yourself to maybe other moms or something like that. And being a stay-at-home mom, it does have a lot of rewards, but it can be really strenuous on you, like because you don't get separation. Sometimes I just long for that commute to work. Right. You know what I mean? Like, can I just sit in my commute? You know what I mean? I miss my commute. I used to cry over my commute. Yeah. You know, I used to be like,
it's your time to yourself.
Right, but now I do. I miss it. Even you know, I would say the cooking, the cleaning, all of that is the downside of being a stay-at-home mom. The rewards, though, the being able to talk your kids through life, especially now that they're home from school with me, being in with them in their growth, with their, you know, like you can talk them through way more. You also get to spend more time as you because you need creative relief. We've started meditating together. You know what I mean? Like, so yoga in the morning. Riding. We do our yoga in the morning. Riding bikes. I got a little exercise queen. My second child, Leslie, she loves to exercise. So it's like she'll roll that yoga mat out in a second and be like, "Come on, mom,
let's do it."
You know, so like it's good to like be able to share those types of things with them.
You don't miss any milestones. That's good. Yeah. You get to see them.
Yeah. But
instead of hear about them.
There are struggles, though, you know? Yeah. So, like everything, though. Like I said, if you were a working mom, you have the same struggles. Like, you feel like you're not doing good enough. You always have that placement on you. Because you, as a mom, you always want to do your best. You always want to do better.
I feel like naturally, also my friend now, like naturally we're critics, like our worst critics. But then I feel like being a mom, like it even heightens even worse. Like we're always, because now we're taking care of not only ourselves and battling with ourselves, but like I have this other person that I actually I'm responsible for. I have to take care of and raise and hopefully do my best. So it's like now you're even harder on yourself.
Right.
And
of course, be your best self.
Yeah. And it's like, of course, we always can do better. So I'm like, it's like, dang, I can always do better. So even when you do better, it's like, I want to give myself props, but it could be better. It's like, it's okay. Yeah. Give yourself props right there. But
right there.
Yeah, I feel that, TT. I think, I mean, I can only actually like, I guess feel it because I don't understand it because I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But I think another thing about like moms that stay at home, I just don't like that people sometimes think it's an easy thing to do. Yeah.
No, like I'm literally like on my feet.
You're never not
most
moving.
of the day. Like
Yeah.
I've been on the phone with people and FaceTiming, and they're what are you doing? Oh, I just made lunch. I just swept the floor. I just
Right.
cleaned up the toys in the hallway.
Yeah.
I just did all of these 20 things while on the phone, and they're like, "What? You just did all that?" Yeah, this is what I do all day. It's
Yeah.
never
Wow.
like.
Yeah.
Locked.
This morning
There's
I was
always-
on the phone with you,
Yeah.
and while you were doing your makeup, literally they're all three like in the phone.
They're always
all three
behind me.
just- I'm like, dang, y'all.
They're always behind
Yeah.
me. They're
So
always
do you
there.
get time like at night to just kind of?
I do. I sometimes after bedtime, which makes you kind of a night owl as a parent.
Yeah.
Because you get that 8:00 shutdown,
Okay.
the house, and then that's the daddy and mommy time.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, we've had to like, because this is another thing, you want to have that extra time with your spouse or partner, and then you're just like, you're tired,
You're
or you're
exhausted.
like,
Yeah.
I need to be alone
Right.
and just
Yeah.
watch my sappy show
Right.
and not like, just like you got to be alone on your ride home from work.
Exactly.
I didn't get that.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like sometimes it can be, you have to,
Yeah.
you literally have to schedule time for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, you have to say like, right now, this is my time away from the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So like, this was like a big deal.
Well, I
this
appreciate
is like
you for
this
giving us
one
your free
time.
time. Right, right.
You're
Mhm.
welcome.
Seriously.
But yeah,
Yeah.
you literally have to schedule time for yourself.
Yeah, and I think you touched on it too. It's not just like when you're a mom, you're and a wife also. Like, and I'm also a person. Like,
Right.
there's just so many things that are added on. So like, you just have to find that balance and navigate through it.
You do.
But you're doing a perfect job. So
Thank
I just want to
you.
make sure you know what I'm saying. Your kids are amazing. Those
That's
are my
right.
sister, brother, cousins.
They're pretty awesome. I love
I
them.
think we're all sister, brother, cousins.
So cute.
Yeah, so I'm gonna cut straight to my mom because she is sitting over here pretty in pink. No pun intended. So yeah, Isaiah, go ahead, look at Nana. So we want to ask Nana, aka my mom, aka Diamond, what is it like to be a single mom? What is a single mom? Define what a single mom is.
So
if you
there's a
can.
lot of different facets to being a single mom. A lot of times, basically if you are raising a child and not with the person that you had the child with, someone would say you're a single mom.
Yeah.
You're doing this on your own. I guess I'm a bit biased because I was another level of being a single mom. It wasn't just not being with the father of my children. I had to take this journey completely and solely on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever there was the presence of the other parent, it did nothing but cause harm, which just made my
Right.
job harder.
Right.
Vonna getting ready to be 24, just going through that long journey of no financial assistance, emotional support. If the kids had a performance, they had a doctor's appointment, they were up at night, there was no assistance.
Yeah.
It was just me. And I had to go to work. And so when there was something going on, having to work things out at my job so I could still be present and always feeling similar to what you were saying, it's like not wanting to drop the ball on being a good mom.
Right.
Not wanting to follow that stereotype of like you're a single mom and you can't do everything.
Right.
But we have this thing of like, I want to do it all.
Yep.
I want to be at whatever's going on, every dance performance, football game, basketball game, band recital,
Poetry
just every
slam.
poetry
meeting.
slam, PTA meeting,
Yeah.
everything that's going on. And it was definitely a challenge. I know there were times where I was around other fathers and other moms and I'd listen to them say, gosh, I'm a single mom, it's so hard, and they're getting $1,000 child support and their child gets picked up every other weekend or every weekend to go spend time with their dad and their dad's at every performance. And I would kind of look at him and go, you might be a primary custodial parent,
Right.
but you're not a single parent.
Right.
Because you have assistance, you have someone
Right.
who's helping you. You might not be with that other parent, whether it's a mom or it's a dad, but
Right.
it's a different walk when you really have to do it on your own.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people define being a single mom. He's cough smiling.
Hi, honey.
It's my co-host. Like I said, put respect on his name. I think sometimes people define single mom as I'm single. Like you being single
Yeah.
and being able to mingle don't got nothing to do with you individually taking care of your child alone. So I appreciate you for defining that. Like, and don't take it personal because my mama for sure told me like, but you're not a single parent. You know what I'm saying? Like she let me. I'm like I am. She's like, well, it's levels to it. You feel me? So like, just take it like you know what I'm saying for what it is because that's honestly the truth, and you never know like what somebody else's story is. So
Yeah.
it's like when you say that, you could be like triggering somebody else, because it's like, nah, like I'm really doing this on my own over here, and it's really hard, and you have assistance, you know.
Yeah.
And like I like whether like having Isaiah's father, like I have my family, like that is my ultimate support, and I'm so grateful for that, because people don't have, you know what I'm saying, like they don't have their family. So, but you're amazing. That's my mom.
Thanks.
She's awesome sauce.
And I like the definition though. I like the definition of the single
like the
moms,
levels.
because for a while I struggled with the fact that I wasn't a single mom.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was a single mom because I wasn't with the biological.
Yes.
And
I feel that.
my sister kept telling me, "You're not a single parent. What are you talking
Because
about?
you're raising your child with another person."
Exactly. But it's just embedded in my
really
head
just
that I'm a
levels.
single mother.
You were single for so long before
Until
that.
she was 6. I was single, and now,
So,
yeah.
Well, to jump into you, what was it like going from being a single mom to raising your daughter with someone that was not their biological father?
It wasn't an easy transition, only because I had my life going the way that I wanted to go. And when I found out I was pregnant, I was actually graduating. I walked across the stage with my bachelor's degree pregnant.
Yep.
And so and then I just went right into graduate school, because I knew at that time when I had her biological father was not going to be with him. So I remember literally, and I shared this story with her, I was in the hospital and it was just the two of us, and I'm looking at her and I'm saying to myself, I'm about to be a single mother. There is absolutely no way I'm going to give you any access to this right here, because now I'm responsible. Yeah. So I have to do this. So I did it and I met my husband actually through my daughter's biological father.
Oh, snap. Well, shout out to him then.
And I told him, I can never be mad at you. You gave me my baby and my husband.
Right.
Thank you for
you have literally blessed me. But when my husband came around, it was difficult to let go of the control. And we talk about that sometimes today, that I never let him. He can discipline her, but only so far. And that was for anybody, her biological as well. But the interesting part came in when I thought the biological would just let me go ahead and handle this because of lifestyle he was living. I got served with papers to go to court.
You really?
And this was after he would go to her school, private school, that I'm paying $1,500 a month for, bringing your lady of the month to come by and meet her, and you taking her out of school and she's missing less. So I asked the school, what do I have to do? Because I don't want him coming up here. They said you have to get full legal custody. So I told him I was going to do that. He beat me to the punch. I got served. We were in court for 2 years. I ended up getting full physical legal custody when she was maybe 8 or 9. Because I needed him to sign her passport papers, and I had to do a little finagle so I could get her out the country, because he wasn't having it. So when Alvin came in, it was just it was an interesting transition to see her, and whether or not she would actually listen to him. He had to gain that respect from her. He had to do a lot.
And how old is Kayla now?
She's 26.
26.
She's 26.
Like, from watching over the years, like her and Uncle Alvin are very close. Like,
they are extremely close.
Yeah.
They are extremely close. And, she would tell me from time to time, she would always ask me, why did you marry my father? Like, why did you do that? My biological father. Or not marry him, but have a kid with him. And I told her, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. Like, I was just in another space in life. I think the same. But she said, but I thank you for giving me someone else who could step into that role. And now at 26, she doesn't only just have me. She has Alvin, and she also has her biological father in her life. Yeah. And so we're all teaching her in different ways. I'm teaching her from my perspective as a lady, how to be a lady. Alvin is teaching her more from an OG standpoint and still keeping it to the streets.
Yeah.
And then you got to have the biological who's just
putting in,
just the hardcore hood part of it. So yeah, she's being well-rounded. So I at this point, I would say that I feel extremely blessed to have gone through that journey, and she's good. Yeah. Mentally and emotionally and physically, and she knows that she's covered. Yeah. All the way around.
Yeah. Shout out to the women in my family. Like, they have really inspired me, and without them, I wouldn't be the woman I am today or the mom I am today. So shout out to these ladies, you know what I'm talking about. It's Saturday, although it's early morning. Y'all don't know that, but I'm going to let y'all know it's for sure early morning. But it's a Saturday, so they pouring up. You know what I'm talking about? I'm breastfeeding, so I ain't pulling up. You know what I'm talking about? I know you know what I'm talking about. So we're going to dive in just to a few little topics I'm going to throw out there for y'all. We could talk about these things for hours, so let's try to keep it, you know, simple and short. You feel me? Because Isaiah ain't having it. He trying to walk on into La La Land and stuff. So the first question I want to ask you guys is, do you remember what it was like to be pregnant? Not what it was like, but what did you feel when you were first pregnant? Like, what was your first thoughts when you found out, I'm pregnant, I'm gonna have a baby? What the fudge? No. How did you feel? What were your first thoughts? Just throw stuff out.
I've been trying to get pregnant. Okay. For about a year and a half before I was married. And then I got married and I got pregnant 3 months after I got married. But I was super excited. I knew her name. I took ovulation kits.
Period.
The last two were surprises. Mm-hmm. I remember the last one, I cried. I was in the hallway like, what did I just do? Because the doctors told me, don't do it again. Like, you know. But I was like, I think this might be my son. So I was like, I think I'm going to do this. Yeah. But I was sick. Yeah. You know. Yeah.
It was intentional, actually, at first. Yes, because I had a miscarriage in August. Mm-hmm. And when I found out in August that I was pregnant, I was devastated, but I was keeping the baby. And then when I found out about the miscarriage, that just sent me into a whole nother world. So every month after that, I started counting my ovulation dates, and I started making sure that we were having sex during that time until February when I got pregnant. Mm-hmm. And when I got pregnant, and my mom kept telling me, you need to stop that because you can have a baby. It was just a miscarriage. Right, you can have a baby. So after I got pregnant in February, around 5 months, I didn't want to be pregnant anymore. I was done. I was done. I didn't want to be pregnant. Right. I did it. Okay, I know I could do it. But it started going through my head, the lifetime of responsibility. Right. And what did I just do? And can you get this baby out of me? And my doctor actually gave me an option and said, you're 5.5 months pregnant. There's a place in LA that you can go if you can get there in a week. And I said, what's the procedure? And he said, well, they'll basically deliver the baby and they'll just let the baby die. Well, I wasn't going to do that. Right. So, yeah, I was pretty mad throughout my pregnancy. I didn't get to enjoy it at all. Mm-hmm. I was very angry. Yeah. Very upset.
I respect it. Yeah. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that too. I appreciate you for keeping it all the way 100 because it be like that.
Yeah. And then I felt bad because I'm like, I see these other pregnant women walking around with the glow and they're so happy. I was walking around frumpy, mad. I gained 62 pounds. It was not good. Mm-hmm. It wasn't good for me. I didn't have a good experience.
And do you feel like the way you were feeling during your pregnancy, do you feel like after birth that same mood kind of took over?
It did. And I regret that as well because I went straight into postpartum depression. Mm-hmm. And my mom kept telling me throughout the pregnancy, if I don't get happy and start accepting this, that my baby is going to grow up or come out to be upset and a mad baby with bad energy. And yeah, the depression piece of it, like I didn't get to enjoy this stage. I didn't get to enjoy that. It wasn't until maybe 7-8 months, maybe even 1 year where it finally clicked in and I started to say, okay, I got this now. But it took a while.
Yeah.
And I felt bad. I felt like a horrible mother, even though I was making sure she was clean, she was bathed, she was dressed.
She was clean.
She was very well taken care of, but I just wasn't feeling it. I was like a robot just doing it because I felt like I had to.
Yeah.
And that was horrible. Just detached.
It happens though, and I think like it needs to be a thing that's like normalized, like postpartum depression first of all, because I feel like people overlook it. Like, oh, you're okay. Like, you're just going through a little something. Like, no, it's really, really serious.
It is.
And I think that, like, people, we have to lean in more and ask moms more, like, are you okay? And I think not just when their baby's in this stage, like, your child can be 5 years old.
It's true.
Still keep asking them how they're feeling. Are they okay? Make sure they have that time to check in with self. Because, at any point throughout that time, like, you could be suffering from postpartum depression.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's, I appreciate you. Mama, how you feel when you found out you was pregnant with me?
So at that
we were all shocked.
Right.
We were
So,
all pretty.
unlike everyone else's planned story, I was 16 years old. And
She was hecka happy.
yeah, so I was terrified more so of telling my mom that I was keeping my baby. At that point, I had already had 2 abortions, which my mother made me have. And I was determined that no, I'm not having another one, and I'm having my baby, and I'm not going to tell her until it's too far for her to even know. So I knew, but I was trying to hide it from her until I was past the phase that she could force me to have an abortion because I was a minor. And I really didn't get to make life decisions for myself. And there was this piece of my mind like, oh my gosh, and when I have this baby, I'm going to be a grown up and I can finally move out of this house and she can't stop me from doing nothing. Yeah, so that's not really the right frame of thinking because I was going to be 18.
You also had one more thought of thinking
Freedom.
when you came to that. No, it was the fact that you were taking care of Richie.
I was just going to get to that part. And there was no doubt in my mind that I was going to be able to take care of my child on my own because, my mom was a single mom and she had to work all the time. And being the firstborn child, it was always watch your sister, watch your brother, watch your sister, watch your brother. So I'm thinking I'm just Billy Bad Butt and I got this and I can take care of this kid and I don't need nobody for nothing. Yeah. And so I had you at 17 and, I got a lot of negativity from one side of my family, just that I was going to ruin your life and it was just going to be so hard and just a lot of negative stuff. And so my mind went into this mindset of I had something to prove. So I did also struggle with postpartum depression, but I didn't give myself an opportunity to feel it. I never stopped moving until probably just before I was going to have my son, which was 6 years later. I just kept moving and working. And then I had to graduate from high school. I had to prove a point. And I graduated with a 4.0 and valedictorian. And I just needed to prove a point that I could do this. And I had you at 17 and a half. And then, when I turned 18, it was time to go. I forgot the part that I was going to be 18. And at 18, I was going to get to go anyways. And I could have gone with freedom and not responsibility, but I made a different choice. Your
best blessing in life, so.
Yes, you were definitely a blessing.
Hey, but I feel
came 16, with a lot of hardships, but that was hard. So I didn't have that, it was just, I was a kid having a kid, and it definitely led to other challenges trying to be a child, raising a child.
Yeah.
So yeah. That was what my experience was.
And then I feel like we could talk about that forever, so I'm not even going to go into that. I'm going to grab my handy dandy notebook, what I'm talking about, and I'm just going to ask y'all, I'm just going to throw stuff out, you feel me? And just give me some short answers. You Puerto Rican and black ladies, you feel me? Because y'all with y'all windy answers. It's good though, because we're here for it. All right. Dang, y'all already answered a lot of these questions. Did any of you guys know your children's love language?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do we know or did we know?
Do you know?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of the 5 love languages?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you guys are awesome. Okay. Do you think it's important to know your child's love language?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Why?
How else are you going to communicate? That's the only way they understand. And so in order for them to understand what you're saying and you want them to get it, you have to speak in their language.
Facts.
It also gives them a sense of security where they feel like they can be vulnerable to you.
Yep.
I struggled with that a little bit, but we're getting there.
Yeah. Good.
Because we're in puberty with
Every
one
little
of them
step
right
you
now.
take.
So.
You're going to get there.
Yeah, it's definitely important. For me, it was a challenge because my daughter's love language is touch.
That's how I give it.
Oh my
And
god!
it's how she receives it too. And I'm not a touchy, huggy, cuddly person, and so it's very difficult for me.
Do you think that came from the family?
I hope not.
You guys are hecka loving.
No,
touching.
no.
One is always
Look how you guys do Isaiah. What the heck?
I know we
He's a
had
baby.
we had to teach ourselves that. Though,
It was something. Believe it or not, it was something we actually had to teach ourselves.
So maybe since you guys didn't have that, that's why you guys put it into us, and we are who we are and how we are. And y'all like get off of me, and I'm like, oh, come here. Like,
So it was definitely, like you said, it's about being able to communicate, knowing your child's language, because you have to be able to push yourself there. Because a lot of kids growing up, especially when puberty kicks in, not feeling like they were loved.
Right.
Create so many other aspects. So it's important to take the time to know how your child receives love and gives love.
Right.
It's just important to have that balance.
Before I forget, I want to throw in there that like as your kids get older, like to other moms, if your kids are young, I think it's important that once you learn them, because your child can be young and you're learning like, oh, like this is how they like to be loved. I think it's important to teach them, if they're unaware, that this is their love language, and show them how to love themselves in the way that they receive love also. Because it's like, of course, like we want it from our parents and stuff, but it's like teaching them at a young age how to love themselves in the way that they receive it, you know what I'm saying? So they're not looking for it from other people, you know? I think that's important. And I think realizing that we actually create a little bit of what their love language is. Like we were just saying, the whole touch thing. And you always verbally affirmed me growing up. And that's why I receive love through affirmations. So I think that also like plays a big part in it. May, whatever things.
No, but affirmation is extremely important in the BIPOC community.
In the what community?
BIPOC.
What's BIPOC?
That's Black, Indigenous, people of color. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
In the BIPOC community. So it all people of color. Well, not all. Well, all. But it's important because there's a lot of children who don't get that affirmation from home, and then that's when they do go out and look for it elsewhere. We don't need that, especially not today.
I think like you said, even if like, because they may not get it at home, like us just doing better as a people and just giving it. Like you see somebody like, them my people right there, what's up? You know, like let me just affirm you real quick. Exactly. Because why not?
Yeah,
definitely.
My next thing, do you guys apologize to your kids?
Yes.
When you're wrong?
Yes.
Did you always?
Yes.
No.
How did you check yourself and realize like, okay, like I need to, like I know that I'm the adult, they're the child, but I need to set this example and apologize when I'm wrong? Like, was there like what was the turning moment, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think when I started fearing the relationship we'll have as she becomes a young lady, that's when I started realizing that I needed to be more accountable for the way I made her feel, because I didn't want to damage our future relationship. Because now I remember making memories that could have damaged relationships that I have now at about that age. Yeah. And I didn't want her to go through that. So I think like maybe like 9 or maybe 8 or 9, like I'm just now starting to do it with my middle child. But like a 2-year-old, I'm not apologizing.
Yeah. Period. Yeah, they don't get apologies. But when you start having conversations and you start really trying to mold them and let them know and reaffirm to them that you teach people how to treat you, then I want to be that example as well. So if I'm wrong, I'm going to say I'm wrong. Now, if you got hit or something behind that, I mean, collateral damage, but I apologize, my bad. And that's how I want, that's how I would. And she has this loyal thing. I don't know if it's a millennial thing or not, but she's so loyal to a T that it just makes me, I look at everyone who comes around her with a side eye until you prove to me that you're not trying to be
Let's
out
talk
for my
about
baby.
when your mama let you know that your friend ain't really your friend.
I mean,
oh man, I've had my man do that before.
I see it.
Yeah.
Y'all be right though. I ain't even going front.
Yeah.
Y'all be right.
And I try to tell her I don't want to keep saying I told you so, but I told you.
I told you. And then we bring the next person through.
Right.
It's okay. Breastfeeding or formula? Which one
did
did you guys
both. I breastfeed for the first 3 months, and I only made it 3 months. I can't do it like some G's out there, but both.
I only
I
made it
left
30
with
days.
you because I was in school. So basically, I was only able to breastfeed you while I was at home, and I didn't stay home the 6. They tell you to stay home for the 6 weeks. So I pumped. So my auntie Teresa was able to give her the breast milk through the bottle because I had to go back to school. I was not gonna not graduate, so I only stayed home for 3 weeks.
Wow.
And I had to get back to class.
Oh
like I was not gonna let that. It was my senior year. I was not gonna let that mess up my graduation.
Oh, when I dropped her off at 6 weeks, I sat in the car and cried.
Oh, I cried. Oh, there was
Like,
lots
what
of
kind
crying.
of mother am I?
It was lots of
my
crying.
baby off at 6
I
weeks.
kept telling myself, how am I going to get a job to take care of this child if I don't graduate from high school? Nobody's going to give me a job.
Right.
I have no choice.
I told my mom, me and Isaiah be in a box. I ain't going back to work. I'm not playing. I'm not missing any moments. I know I'm not going to be in a box, but I'm just saying, like, because I don't have a consistent income right now, I'm not going back to work. And how dare they try to make me leave the love of my life, my soulmate, my best friend, my ice-boom coon. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't understand. Like,
okay, so
if it came down to giving him the
Yes.
best,
I have a
Wait,
question.
I really want to hear the question. Yes, ma'am?
You just like your mama.
yeah, she is.
Well, okay, so if you don't plan on going back to
I'm
work,
working right now. I'm on the clock.
Got
Entrepreneur. You know what I'm talking about? Which
you.
leads me to my next question.
Okay.
Did you guys raise your children instilling in them to apply for a job or become an entrepreneur? And this question is not based upon what your child is currently doing,
right,
or what they gained interest upon, but like,
right,
or did you even like both? You know what I'm saying?
right.
Like, oh, maybe start off applying. Like, what did you instill into your children?
I can go first.
Okay.
I definitely instilled to every child that came within my radius, including my nieces, nephews, cousins, you need to get a job. Now, if your job
Just like
happened
that
to
too,
be
though.
being an entrepreneur where you were able to make an income, that was okay too. But I definitely instilled in you guys that being an adult is not your age. Being an adult is the ability to take care of yourself on your own. Your age has nothing to do with that.
Right.
I know 60-year-old men who are not adults and 50-year-old women who are not adults.
Right.
Your age just means you're an old kid. That's really what it means. And that's what I instilled in you and my nieces and my nephews whenever the opportunity arose, that you need to be able to take care of yourself because you're going out in a world where they already have it stacked up against you.
Right.
So you need to be making plans for this future to be able to support yourself.
Okay, so I know y'all gonna say I'm bougie on this one.
It's okay.
Okay.
Be bougie.
Why I don't want to be?
It's okay. You got
Come
the
on,
you
I
got the
don't
all
wanna
white and the
be.
champagne.
Okay.
Just take it all the way. No.
So I didn't want her to have a job. I wanted her to have a career.
Yeah.
And yes, you have to start at the bottom.
Right.
So Alvin wanted her to be an entrepreneur. So he kept coming at her from that angle. I kept coming at her from the angle of entrepreneurship or a career, but you're going to do one. And whatever that is, you're going to go up here.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not going to stay here. So that's my expectation. And where I am in my career, I need you higher than that.
Yeah.
So I raised the bar for her really high. And I do see some of the mistakes that I made in doing that because she had a lot of pressure on her. And sometimes she would break down trying to keep up with my expectations. But I pushed her just enough to where I know where she wouldn't break.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I know you have little ones right now, but
well,
however, you're still instilling in them.
I just want them to pursue happiness. I'm teaching my children about investing their money right now. When they lose a tooth, we talk about what they want to do with their money. I've got some children that just want to save their money, and so like I want to teach them how to make their money work for them, so that they can pursue their happiness. That's my goal with them.
I think it's important to talk about financial stability, like just our financial health. Just speaking about like investing and like investment portfolio. Me and my mom been talking about what do you call it, my life insurance policy, like all those different types of things. I think those are very important to talk about. So if you guys have a baby, look into getting a life insurance on your child, okay? Permanent.
Yourself.
So on and yourself too, but permanent, so you can actually like benefit off of it. You feel me? Just hit me in my DMs if you've seen this.
And another good tip too, if you have kids that are of that age that are either going to start going out and look for apartments or do stuff like that, put them on one of your credit cards.
Yes,
build-
it's
just
important
build-
to
just
talk
put 'em
about
on one of-
credit health with your kids,
put 'em on
bank
one of your
accounts, how to
credit
balance an
cards.
account.
She talked to me about it my whole life, and then I went into debt, but I just paid it off recently.
Good for
So
you.
She's
understand.
taught.
Yes.
But you have to accept too that though you
Yes.
teach them, they're
Yes.
going to come to a place where they're going to make their own decisions.
Yeah.
Of course.
And you need to be okay with that.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you failed as a parent,
Right.
whether you were a stay-at-home, whether you
Right.
had a co-parent,
Right.
whether you were a single mom.
Yeah.
Your kids are going to get to a place where they're going to make their own decisions. You have to give them space to fall.
Yeah.
Your job is to be there, put a Band-Aid on, and let them get back up
Yeah.
and go back out there.
I'm not quite
Put the
there
stuff
yet.
in them, and it will show
We
itself.
learn
just
it
takes
as we
time.
go, right,
Well,
Isaiah?
yeah, you do learn as you go.
Yeah.
You do.
To close us up, I'm gonna have to have y'all back on here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's come back.
Cause we're just gonna have a pajama jam. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Pajama
Look at
jam.
the pajamas.
To close it up, I want to ask you guys, you ladies, what? I'm trying to be all like I remember what the hell I wrote. What would your present self? What advice would your present self give to your past self as you were entering into motherhood? What advice would your present self give to your past self as you were entering into motherhood?
Oh gosh. I would tell myself so much, but I think the main thing is that I would just be like, relax, you're gonna be fine. You know, like, I think I would say drink more water. Like stuff like that. Like,
Hey,
you know,
facts though.
yeah, like I think I would say that, like,
Yeah.
you know, go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Don't stay up and watch them.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Watch them sleep
yeah.
and then try to go to sleep right when
Just
they wake
those
up.
light things.
Yeah,
You know.
that's good.
I think I would say forgiving myself for not attaching early on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's obviously it still sticks with me because I see like as Isaiah, like that is something I really wish I could have connected with
Yeah,
her. So I would tell my younger self that it's okay.
it's okay.
It's something you went through. It wasn't a choice. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's important too. Like you said, it wasn't a choice.
Right.
People need to realize that when people are going through things, like it's not a choice for me to be here. This is
Right.
just where I'm at right now.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow. What would I tell younger me? To give myself a break. I think I was really hard on myself trying to be a mom and a dad, that I didn't have a balance. I would have told myself to seek my own balance and not to lose who I am, because everything I did was for you and your brother. Mm-hmm. And now that you are your age and now he is his age, I have been your mother longer than I've been me, longer than I've just been Diamond. I have been you and Andre's mom. And now at 41 years old, I'm trying to figure out me. So I would have definitely told me not to lose myself, just being your mom. That I can do both. I can be me and be your mom. And I didn't give myself that opportunity. I was your mom all the time, 24/7. That was the only focus, was being you and Andre's mom.
Do you feel like you're stepping out of that now that we're both basically able to kind of fend for ourselves in a way? Kind
That
of
was the plan.
But what's crazy is what you just said is what you just said not too long ago.
What'd I say?
When you said, like, how are you going to work? You have to be with him. That's what your mom went through.
So like I said, though.
Well, one thing that I learned I really listen to her more than she thinks, and I pay attention, which is why I'm here on this couch right now, still following my dreams and making sure that I stick true to my goals and things that I want to reach in life, and knowing that I can do that with him being here, and knowing that it's not only for me, but it is for him too, because it's important for me to see her happy. Right. Not just her being a mom, but being a woman and doing things that she wants to do. And I've always encouraged her to do so. And whenever she does, like, I'm full of love, full of joy. Although I might want to go. Where are you going? I want to go. Like, you know, but I think it's very important. But I think, yeah. Moms, dads, parents, grandmas, uncles, aunties, whatever. Because, you know, sometimes they step up and take care. But it's important to still, like, live out your goals and your dreams and be you,
Yeah.
as you say.
Where
because
you going?
being a mom is just one of your other titles. Please don't be mean to our co-hosts.
You're trying to go somewhere.
We're going to close up. This was the Month of Mom series, episode 3. Shout out to Mama D in the building. Shout out to Auntie K in the building. Shout out to Auntie K in the building. That's crazy. I didn't realize both of y'all's names. Auntie K, TT Kim, Auntie KK, my Mama Diamond. You know, I appreciate y'all. Shout out to the co-host Isaiah. Can you show Baby Love's face real quick so we can get his close up?
Yeah.
Yeah, Baby Love. You know, right there. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to my cousin Nene for letting us use her space and for going to the store to get our to get they sip. I really appreciate y'all. We will be back. Stay in tune. Much love. iBloom.
All right.
Ain't nobody do it as good as we do it.
Hey.
Creating our own lane is how we move through it. And just cause it's hard don't mean that we won't do it. Now this is motherhood. I'm welcoming you into it.